Part A, we want to sketch the curve by using the parametric equations to plot points. We want to indicate with an arrow the direction in which the curve is traced as t increases, when x is equal to t squared and y is equal to t cubed. If we take -2 and then square it for x, we're going to get +4. If we take -1 and plug it in for t and square it, we get +1. Plug in 0 and square it, we get 0. Plug in 1 and square it, we get 1. And plug in 2 and square it, we get 4. If we plug in -2 and then cube it, it's going to give us -8. If we plug in -1 and cube it, it's going to give us -1. If we plug in 0 and cube it, we get 0. If we plug in +1 and cube it, we get 1. And plug in 2 and cube it, and we get +8. So here are our order pairs. So we have 4, -8, we have 1, -1, we have 0, 0, 1, and then 1, 4, and then 8. Let's go ahead and plot those points. So we have 4 and then -8. We have 1 and then -1. And we have 0 and then 0. And we have 1 and then 1. And we have 4 and then +8. So we know that this is when t is equal to -2, t is equal to -1, t is equal to 0, t is equal to 1, and then t is equal to 2. So that means we have this graph, and then this part. And so we know that this represents when t is equal to -2. This is when t is equal to -1. This is when t is equal to 0. T is equal to 1. And t is equal to 2. So using our arrows, we're now going from the initial point, which is our first point, to the end. So our arrow is going from -2 to -1, -1 to 0, 0 to 1, and then 1 to 2. Okay, and then part B, we want to eliminate the parameter to find a Cartesian equation of the curve. So we know that our first equation is x, which is equal to t squared. And then our second is y is equal to t cubed. So let's start with the second one and solve for t. So we have y, which is equal to t cubed. And if we take the cube root of both sides, we're going to solve for t. So the cube root of y is going to equal t. And then we're going to substitute this into equation number 1. So we know that x is going to equal the value of t that we found is the cube root of y. And then we need to square that. So that means that x is equal to y to the 1/3 raised to the second power. So therefore x is going to equal y to the 2/3. Where we know that t can be any real number. We also know y can be any real number since it's the cube root. However, x must be greater than or equal to 0. And you can see that from that graph because we can't go anything less than 0.